Sup, world?
Hey, what's up, listeners? We
Go
got
for it.
Jay, Justin, and Connor here for another episode,
In the building.
and I think we got a caller today too.
Hopefully, if I can get him together, and if we keep things in order, just we'll throw out here. This is actually episode number 10.
Yep.
Congrats,
10.
boys.
Double digits.
Double
Congrats, keeping it up
digits.
to our
Yes.
14 views.
Woo, woo. My nephew commented on one of our videos too. Props to him. I'm gonna start off right here, boys, with just a question. You wake up and you're in jail for life. What did you do?
I definitely did something I thought was right.
So you killed someone that you thought you could kill.
Yeah, for protection, for self-defense, or defending my home or place or family.
I definitely irrationally raged on someone and just kind of went a little too hard. Probably with some premeditation. Unfortunately.
You remember that funeral
Connor, what about
system
you?
I talked about a couple pods back about the pyramid on the ice caps that if anyone tried to interfere with
yeah, dude.
flood the world?
Yeah.
I didn't get very far, and that's why I'm like impressive.
Okay, all right. You tried to murder everyone purposefully.
I tried to get the money for that.
I don't know why, but I can't hear Connor.
Uh-oh.
You can't hear me. Oh, I think I know why. It's probably... Yeah, it's set to my
We're
headset.
trying to figure out things. Welcome to the Unprepared Podcast.
Okay, now you should be able to hear me.
Didn't even say
There
the
you
name
go.
right.
Perfect.
We're good.
We're good.
So to recap, Junaid is humble and killed someone in self-defense. I purposefully killed one person, and Connor tried to kind of kill everyone.
No, I didn't even get that far.
Well,
You tried
Well,
to
you
acquire
kinda-
the goods.
I tried to acquire the monetary value.
They were like, that's enough there, bud.
I presented my 5-step plan to a Congress board, and they arrested me on
Oh,
site.
did you show up like Mike Lindell? Just show up to the My Pillow guy and just show up with your manifesto at the White House about how Trump is still the president?
You know how they have like the viewing box in Congress?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like yelling from up there trying to like show my manifesto.
This is why I need the money from Congress.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I got 2 people to side with me, but they are not going to speak out publicly about it.
We're looking at you, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Let's just say Mitt Romney sent me an email.
Dude, he's getting ousted right now, actually. Republicans aren't a big fan of him
I wouldn't expect him to be. He keeps going.
against the party.
Yeah.
But he kind of has a conscience with
Dude,
it, which kind of
what-
makes me look like
what is the Republican Party now? What is it?
a bunch of old white guys.
They've
Yeah.
alienated so many people and live in this like cloud
Still have
that
Congress.
literally like ignores the truth.
Yeah, we won't get into that right now. That's boring.
Yeah.
Who'd you kill, Junaid?
it-
A robber? A murderer? What if it was like an old lady who was just lost and accidentally walked into your house? Thought she was at her house.
If it was an old lady who was lost, I would definitely make her tea and have her sit down and then call the authorities. Be like, hey, there's this white lady here.
Crazy old lady.
And the authorities show up and killed her.
Who is this? You guys seen the videos of like the British dude who went out drinking at a bar and he went back to like his old house that he used to live at
Yeah.
and just walks in and passed out on their couch and the next morning wakes up with them and they like make him tea and breakfast and he's like making videos with them the next morning, like smoking cigarettes with them in the house, just like, I fucking walked in this house and these strangers made me food and now here we are making breakfast and tea.
He like grew up there in high school, and it was the only place he knew how to get back to.
He just like walked back habitually because he used to walk back from the bar there all the time. Oy, oy, oy. Do you guys have any like super woke mystic type friends?
I got a few.
Oh,
Yeah.
I used to know a kid in college who was like super mystic. He was a white guy, but he kind of like acted like he knew more about my culture than I did, because he like
Ain't that
went
the
to
best?
India and stuff.
Dude, you know white kids, once they go to India for 2 weeks, know way more about Pakistani culture than you do.
No, because he went to India, so like obviously like even like Muslims in India think Pakistan is like this backwards fucked up country just
I
because
was I
that's
was
like
I was
they
not
don't have
being
free.
I was not being serious, Junaid.
I know it, but
I thought that was bleeding with enough sarcasm.
it's entirely though the concept though of like
No.
going to North Korea and thinking you understand South Korea.
Dude, we used it at our high
Yeah.
school that we went to. They would take kids on this trip to India because like our high school invested in some like private educational school in India, and they would take a group of kids every summer, and they would all come back just acting like they were just like, my third eye opened, I have henna on every day, I'm so cultured, you people don't even know what you're talking about. It's like, no, you did the whole like white kid goes to the orphanage, gets a few pictures, putting in a few bricks, and ends up costing the local community like much more than what they gave. But now they can put it on their college resume.
Come back to I am ready to run a gas station now.
Dude, fucking woke activists. God damn it. Connor, you said you have some mysticky friends?
Yeah.
Super wokes?
Or I at least know people that were. Recently, we discovered that a good friend of mine was in an animation class, and one of the other people in it decided that they were the only person allowed to use color in their animation.
Neat.
Yeah, and filed a plagiarism accusation against like 5 students that also used color in their animation, under the premise that in her past life she was a painter and has very deep passionate roots in color.
So she owns it now.
So she owns it now, yeah.
She owns color. That's cool.
Yeah, and it's 100% one of those things, because it's escalated so horribly, is that the school probably rolled a pencil against it, and because she's a senior, they're like, it's cheaper on us to graduate her than to like put her in an insane asylum
Okay.
and expel her, because she has gone off. She has accused people of like stalking her and harassing her on social media when and the evidence is like their private posts on Twitter that weren't even pertaining to her, and the fact that they participate in class.
Wow.
Yeah, like total delusional, mildly schizophrenic, and it's just like, it's her last semester, pass her through this class, graduate her, and never look back.
Is that where the term roll the pencil comes from? You just said that. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, roll the pencil is just basically make your pros and cons list, but it has to do with financial.
Okay.
So when you roll a pencil against it, you run the numbers, kind of deal.
Gotcha. I get the idea. Yeah, I got a friend from high school. I don't even know if I'd call her a friend. Someone who went to a different school that had a crew of people that we used to hang out with a lot and party with, and she was always around. And I saw her a couple years ago at a buddy's wedding, and she was starting to go on this whole like, yeah, I'm gonna explain to everybody what influencing is, and kind of like explaining to people how she gets paid by these like detox tea companies to put up like social posts. And I just was kind of rolling my eyes at it like, whatever. It was ironically right after that wedding I deleted like Instagram and everything. Got rid of it. And then because of the pod, and to like kind of help get the word out there, I downloaded it back again, and she has gone full blown from like influencer to like energy healing and
Oh, like
energy
crystals in
readings.
your room?
Not even just crystals in your room. Like, you come and sit with me in a room, and I tell you that your energy's bad, and then I tell you to, like, what do you want to do? And then you tell me, and then I say, you can do it. And always believe in yourself. And I help you realign your energy. Now give me $100.
Oh,
I need you to think of a
you
bunny.
mean those health coaches?
Are you thinking of a bunny?
Not even a health coach, dude. She's
mental
on this whole,
wellness coach?
she literally calls herself a mystic. Like, she's not there to be like, I'm gonna tell you, like, she will realign and rebalance your chi to help you focus on your energy goals. And do you have negative energy blocks holding you back from what you want to do? Will come to me and I will help remove those negative energy blocks. And I'm like, and then all her posts are like her with like sitting in like like a meditative like lotus pose. In the background is like, it's her photoshopped with like a spinning galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come get your mystic reading today. And I'm like, oh no, how did this happen? Like, I thought you were just trying to front detox teas a couple years ago, and now you're full on like, oh, it's aggressive.
Oh, dude, Justin, you got to tell me who this is. Send me a message.
I will. Even better, I'll send you a screenshot too. But
At your guys' high school, did you have to wear uniforms?
yes,
Okay.
not only do we have to wear uniforms, we had to wear uniforms that were bought from a specific company,
Okay.
so that they all like perfectly
Matched.
with each
Was
other.
there any way to like individualize yourself, like with a jacket or a belt or something?
A little bit.
Okay.
Jackets
Shoes.
not in class, shoes a little bit, but they still had to be like plain white or black.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dude,
belts.
but senior year,
your
who
hoodie.
followed?
Yeah, but then
who
your senior year,
followed
they
the-
don't give a fuck about the seniors at our high school, as we've talked about before. They just like let us fuck around. So you would show up, like, the uniform was pretty much either, for guys specifically, it was white or blue shirts. There were these specific like baby blue shirt or white that you could either get in a button-up shirt or a polo shirt. And then it was khaki pants or shorts in either khaki color or gray they allowed in the last couple of years. So like that was all your outfit choices were. Girls could like wear a skirt or like navy blue slacks and then the same two like top options. But that was it.
God.
And then they would give you like a school sweater. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays we'd have assemblies and you'd have to have your sweater for assembly or else you'd get like an out of uniform. And just kind of dumb shit like that.
And so you guys really missed out on like the people that come to school every day in costumes.
Yeah. It did suck, but at the same time it was kind of nice to know when you just woke up. You're like,
What you're gonna wear today?
pretty much every dude would just get like 4 of the same shirt they liked and 4 or 5 of the same pants they liked, and you pretty much just rolled out and
Man,
like,
that's not far from what I do now.
yeah,
Back
it's
then.
pretty much what I do too. All my shirts are only 2 brands. I only have the Target Goodfellow brand and the Smith's Marketplace Dip brand, and I have them in a bunch of just plain colors. And
Yeah,
that's
if I was ever told to get out like a fancy shirt, I'd go get like my Aeropostale polo shirt.
Sinead's fancy as fuck. That's why he's keeping quiet right now.
Dude, I'm not fancy as fuck. Okay, it's just like I don't
That's
know
what
why.
somebody
It's like
who's
this.
somebody-
It's like this brown guy thing. Maybe it's something that we've been colonized by by so many people. It's just like we wear what like affluent
Your colonizers
Americans or yes.
war. You try and look like the people who colonized you really hard.
No,
It's like
that's just how you look distinct. That's just what you think you look distinguished as.
That's
Oh,
wild.
except for our high school prom where I dressed. Remember when I wore like the purple traditional like wedding dress for men?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see Django Unchained?
Yeah.
You remember that scene when they just dress up Jamie Foxx like the pimp equivalent of a slave master?
Yes.
It's basically what he's describing.
No, Jade was in like a purple Aladdin jumpsuit type of deal.
Prince Ali.
The Aladdin
You
pants.
keep
and
calling
then,
it
like,
jumpsuit.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know what else.
It's kurta.
Yeah,
Kurta.
I'm not gonna remember that
dude,
next
shirt and
time.
pants,
I'm still
man.
gonna keep going with jumpsuit. I like it, dude. It makes it sound kind of Slavic, like it's like an Adidas like get up. You know what I mean?
Makes it sound kind of white.
Dude, I saw this video of this Russian guy who like committed multiple murders, and he's in court, and he's like so dangerous they have to put him in this own little like he's not at a little table, he's in his own little like cubicle.
Oh,
that's
okay.
fully glassed
Yeah.
off and like bulletproof, and he can't get out. You know what I mean? And there's like a little mail slip that's like big enough, and he's like trying really hard to like stick his legs through and get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, he just looks at him and he like shimmies up the wall and just starts punching the ceiling and breaks the glass on the ceiling and starts to like climb out of the broken glass and like into the roof. Eventually run in and grab him by his legs and pull him down.
I think I've seen that one too, because he does it in front of the cops, and they're just like waiting for him to come over so they can just grab him, and he just keeps going up.
The irony is the whole time he's in like a perfect black Adidas jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Like in the tracksuit.
Well, he's in like his court clothes.
Right? Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. Give me 1 sec. Nice to meet you.
Alright. Yeah, because I know throughout high school there was like a group of kids that would dress exclusively like they're from Attack on Titan daily.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they all had the capes,
Oh, wow.
and then there was like a few kids that would they'd get like the Yu-Gi-Oh chains and stuff, like the one that has that big upside down pyramid, and like that thing's kind of cool,
Oh, yeah.
but the person wearing it was very much not.
Yeah, so my father wears a lot of expensive colognes,
Okay.
and during this like, because like the French like banned the hijab, which is weird because like the age of consent is 15, but you can't. But the government decides what you could wear until you're 18.
Yeah.
It was
That is
kind of
weird.
weird because the whole point of the hijab is taking away your lust so that people can view you as a human and not view you as an object,
Right.
because that's just how destructive the male gaze can be sometimes. So yeah, like my dad's like, oh my god, I have this Cartier cologne, like like their whole line of like Cartier expensive colognes. He's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He kept using them, but he's like, I'm not buying anymore. But he has like a stock of like 10 different colognes.
It almost looks like a wine cabinet or something.
No, yeah, definitely. It's very important to him.
Because I know
like,
those things come in like fancy bottles too.
Oh yeah, they are super super fancy. And dude, Cartier makes amazing colognes. Not sponsored, but they do. And then so yeah, like he would buy Polo Ralph Lauren like all the time, and then I inherited them because he would buy so much. I'd be like, all right, Dad, we're the same size.
You need the same size for your cologne.
Oh no! Like he just has good taste in cologne, so I use the cologne too. But like his other
okay.
clothing line as well, we just share stuff.
You're getting the hand-me-downs kind of deal, or just the excess?
Yeah, but then like I go shopping and stuff too, and I buy like nice stuff as well. I'm like, oh Dad, you should totally wear this and stuff. Like, oh this tie goes good with your suit today. Here, take my tie.
I remember being
It's
told
like-
by someone that worked at it was like a, not Men's Warehouse, but it was kind of like it. It was like one of those custom suit places. And every time they had, especially like the big one was Europeans come in, you couldn't tell if it was like a father-son or like this weird older man, younger man couple. But they would always come in, and the younger one would basically be playing like dress up with their dad in suits, and then they'd never buy anything.
That's weird.
But
That's weird.
they would easily try on like 20 suits, be there for almost 3 hours, take hundreds of pictures, and then leave.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're just Instagramming. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like twice a year, my dad and I like go together and like we like go shopping and like make sure we have like everything for the year that's like fashionable and like tailor up our suits properly and everything. Um, but yeah, I guess that's just a, a byproduct of being colonized.
I just like the idea of two large men from Pakistan going through like a fashion magazine to see what's hot for the summer.
Yeah, Jay knows what's pretty hot. He's been looking at them men. Oh no. Sorry, my phone volume's on. Getting some text. Sorry, dudes. I had to go. Had to go check, make sure my dog wasn't going too crazy. We're filming under a little different circumstances here today. Okay. We have a little topic we want to try out here. Maybe we'll keep it going. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna do some MySpace top friends. At first, I was thinking we could do a top 8, but then I realized that 8's pretty aggressive. That's a lot of fucking people. So we're going to go top 4. For you youngsters out there listening who don't remember back MySpace, which was a music app, used to give you your top friend list. And some of the drama in life revolved around, like, which of your buddies were number 1 on the list, which ones weren't. Once you got a girlfriend, once they passed, like, your buddy on the top friends list, that kind of just meant, like, your boy was gone. And he was just, like, lost to the world of girlfriends after that.
Damn, man. What's that around your neck? Looks like a collar.
Yeah, dude. Right. So, essentially, once they break up, then, like, you get put at the top number 1 spot again and your homies again. You know what I mean? So, there was some actual drama to it.
Yeah, and then if you had beef with your homies, you would just like passive aggressively shuffle your top 8 around.
Yeah. They would be like your number
like
2.
immediately.
Yeah, they would be your
Like
number 2,
immediately after a party or something like that. You're like, oh. And it's usually Monday where that shit happens because the weekend is where kids do stuff and things happen. So.
Ironically, from MySpace 2 is where I actually met the dude who ended up officiating me and my wife's wedding. And it was off the easiest, like, manly get-together of, he posted a picture of himself wakeboarding, like, doing a jump. And I was like, sick air, bro. And he's like, thanks, my mom has a boat. Do you want to go next weekend? And I just replied, yeah. And then we saw each other at school, like, the Friday before the next weekend. He's like, so you still want to go boating? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I'll pick you up tomorrow at 8. Have your mom call my mom, pretty much. And we went from there.
In high school, the garage band I was in, our guitar player in like middle school started dating one of the prettiest girls, and then throughout high school she just became more and more gorgeous, and he did not. So it was very obvious he hit gold early on and like peaked hard in life. But I remember it was like our senior year and we were doing a show, and our singer was complaining that it didn't sound right because we weren't practicing enough was his excuse. It was just because he got stoned and was fucking up all the lyrics.
Nice.
But
sounds like someone I know.
Yeah, he told our guitar player that it's like, yeah, man, you gotta pick her or the band. And he's just like, well, I can do both. And, you know, the rest of the band's just like, he's been doing both. He's like, fine, her or me. And he's like, her? He's like, why would you say that? We have so much history. We've been friends forever. Why would you say that?
Don't give me that option, bitch.
And he's just like, dude, what are you going to do for me that she is not going to do for me? And he's like, I'm your best bro. And it's just like, and I'm fucking her. I'm not fucking you.
Best bros lose it after a while. You can still stay tight, of course, but relationships always went out.
He was also like really open about fucking this girl just to brag about it.
I hate that shit.
But that's the thing. One of us in the group really didn't like that, so he'd always threaten, because they, at that time it was all car sex. That was the
Right,
only.
right.
Yeah, and he's just like, I know where you live. I'll park it in your driveway. He's like, I'll text you before I do it. You can look out your window and see my car pull up and just wonder what I'm doing.
Do you guys love that bragging type personality? People who like really got to show off how
If they can do it
cool
right,
they are.
if they can do it right, it's entertaining.
Oh, no, I mean the bad ones.
Oh, the ones that just is like full of shit kind of deal.
Yeah, dude, I was over at a mutual acquaintance's house the other day. There was another person there, and somehow the topic of like partying when we were younger came up. He went on this long rant about how like this last weekend I was at a party and like my buddy we're playing King's Cup and like he couldn't finish it at the end of the game. He got the King's Cup and he couldn't finish it, and I just was like calling him a bitch and all this, and then he couldn't finish it, and then I did. And then the next night I was out partying again, and I was like, yo, I'm too drunk already. If I get the King's Cup, I'm not drinking it. I'm too drunk already, because I already had like 10 beers, you know what I mean? And then I got it, and I was just like so drunk after that. I was out in the lawn like yelling at their neighbors, and they're like, dude, why are you yelling at the neighbors? And I'm like, why'd you make me drink the King's Cup? Like, why'd they make me do that? And I'm like, dude, you're a fucking dickhead. Like, that was not a cool story right then. Like, what part of that? Well, where was the brag right there? I don't.
Right. You've just like gone off about how much you suck.
Yeah, like you fucking made an ass of yourself at your buddy's party and was yelling at his neighbors and then tried to blame it on him.
Right.
Like, sounds like you're not getting invited to the party again, bud. Oh, let's get back to what we're gonna do.
Yeah, let's talk about the MySpace.
Who do we want to do first?
I got it.
Okay.
I got mine. Okay, so number one is definitely going to be COVID-19.
Is this your top four?
Yeah, this is my top four.
Oh, okay. We're doing ours.
Ours, okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, number one will definitely COVID-19. Number two will be Trump. And number three will be who's that U.S. congressman? Is she from New York? OAC?
AOC.
AOC. And what am I at? 3? And then number 4 will be Muhammad Ali.
Okay, that's an odd 4. That's a really odd 4. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I can.
Dude, it has to be like ironic. It's like MySpace era.
No, dude. No, it can be some serious ones. Like, I think I would probably have like Bruce Willis, Dr. J, Chris Farley.
Oh, Chris Farley's a good one. I can get behind that.
Madonna.
R.I.P.
Madonna.
Madonna? Why
Yeah.
Madonna?
She's dope.
She's straight up crazy, man.
Yeah, dude. You gotta have some wild ones in your squad. You gotta keep it held down.
See, I'm gonna go a little bit more local.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with number 4 is gonna be the person that cut my hair the other day. It's an important aspect to my life.
Oh, a barber definitely
barber.
needs to be on the top 4. That's disrespect if they're not.
Yeah, I went all the way out to Park City.
Yeah, put some spec on that name for sure.
Number 3, probably Wild Pepper Pizza.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm still craving that.
Oh,
My
hell
girlfriend
yeah.
won't let me order it because they just got a shit ton of groceries. She's like, use everything in the fridge first, and then you can do takeout.
You're like, oh.
And it's just like, how can I blow through our food? It's a horrible thing to be thinking. It's like, how can I make 3 meals into one?
Jesus.
Just to waste what's in the fridge.
That's a good number 3, I guess.
Yeah. Number 2 is probably that nomadic homeless guy that wears the gas mask and has like the big pole with necklaces on it.
Yeah, that dude downtown's
That
pretty
dude's
cool.
sick.
Yeah, he's dope.
He's not even downtown. He roams Sugar House Park too.
Does he?
Yeah.
I've never seen him down there.
I've seen him all the way to like Harmon's on
Jesus.
1300.
Yeah. Sinead, this guy, and for the listeners, this dude where, like, the best way I can equate what he looks like is in the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
The original, like, the ring wraith that gets his finger chopped off with that, like, giant metal mask and all, like, the big black cloak. And then that, and then just a whole bunch of chains. And then this weird, like, staff thing. That
So
has...
he wears 2 capes. He has like a gold small cape, and then over it is like this big black cape. And then he's just wearing like jeans and a t-shirt and some roughed up shoes. But he always wears like a painter's mask. Like the big, heavy gas masks. And then, he's just got like a big stick. And hanging from it are these necklaces, and he'll sell them to you.
What?
Yeah.
We need one for the studio.
But here's the thing. So he sells these, but the reason he has to roam is because if he ever tries to set up shop anywhere, the police always bust him. So if he's constantly roaming, they can't bust him. So it's like you have to come to him.
Yeah. We need to find him.
Turns out they're anal beads.
Yeah. No, they're like hand.
Dude, they're like pirate necklaces.
Yeah, they're like.
I don't know how to explain them.
They're like silver and stones kind of shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
we need one for
they're not bad. Yeah,
we need to hang one in here, right up on that
he's
shelf.
very intimidating to talk to, kind of deal.
I'll just walk up to him with money out.
It's probably because he's using them as anal beads.
But he's got like so many of them is that it just looks like tassels down his entire staff.
I kind of just needed to tell him to pick me out too, so I can wear one. Then we can put one there.
2 anal beads, sir.
God, Sinead's stuck on the anal beads. Jesus.
They'd be very sharp anal beads. They're like sea glass and shit.
One of my questions on this was, who do you stand for? But it's very clear that Sinead stands for anal beads. Who's your number one?
No,
I never get.
I definitely have to sit down for anal beads.
Not stand. Stan. Like, who do you, like, just nerd out for?
Oh.
Who do you aggressively support?
Who do you very, very aggressively support?
Aggressively?
Like this, like, it comes from the, Eminem Stan music video.
Oh, I see.
So it's a term now when you're, like, being a stan for someone. It just means that you're, like, being too obsessed. So you're kind of an anal bead stan right now. I'm just going to throw that out there. And Connor, what's your number one?
I'm still trying to think.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
God. You guys had some good lists. I just had some pretty, like, shitty actors. And a dead dude.
Except for Chris Farley.
I know, and a dead dude. The only guy on there who was worth it. Fuck me. That was not good. I should have planned ahead of time.
I don't really think I can think of a number one. Probably. You ever been to Emotions and Feelings?
No.
That place is pretty good.
Another food place?
Another food place. That'll be my
All
number
right,
one.
Connor's got 2 food
I
places
got
on
2
there.
food places. I can at least convince my girlfriend to go there because they do like breakfast pastries,
Okay.
and like you can justify that for breakfast. She didn't buy any breakfast stuff. She just bought like dinner stuff.
Oh, okay. So you need to get some breakfast stuff.
Yeah. And it's like the off chance I'll eat breakfast is if we go there. So
That makes sense.
yeah, I need to find a good diner that does like eggs Benedict. I haven't had that in months, almost a year now actually.
Eggs Benedict's pretty dope.
It is. And
Good
Oh,
breakfast.
dude.
You've never had one, Janae.
Go to... I've never had one.
It has
I've never
ham
had
on
one with
doesn't it?
pork on it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you have like the
You
salmon
don't have
or
to.
something?
You don't have to put the ham on it. Yeah, you could use salmon.
What a traitor.
See, I always think though, it's like none of the places would really know what you'd say if like you asked for a halal version of the eggs Benedict. It's always some Southern family that don't say. She's like, I don't know what that is.
I don't say
won't.
that. I just be like, is there any pork in this? Is it made with lard? Is there any pork byproducts on this, and they're like, no. Usually, if you go to like a nice restaurant, like they'll understand. We're like, oh yeah, of course, we'll definitely have that double check for you.
What's a
But
really
I
weird
have been
dietary concern that you could claim at a restaurant?
Really weird. What?
Dietary concern. Like, what's one that's not really real? Like, people allergic to chicken or
gluten,
something?
obviously.
Yeah, I know a few people with celiacs.
Yeah, celiac is real.
Yeah. And I mean, it's aggressive. So my roommate claimed to have celiac disease, and he's totally fucking full of it, because he's like, yeah, it makes me really, like, spacey for an hour. And it's just like, that's not what celiac does.
That's not a symptom.
And he's
of
like,
it,
no, that's his mom even, like, it's like, no, he's got celiac. And it's like, my best friend growing up had celiacs, and if he ate bread, he'd throw up for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, like, bad sick.
They're just like, he had food poisoning. It's just like, your son's a fucking loser.
A girl I used to date in, like, high school used to claim she was allergic to peanut butter. And she wasn't. She just hated it, but she would always tell people that. And then one day I saw her eating, like, a Snickers bar or something. I was like, that's got fucking peanuts in it. She's like, shut up. I was like, oh, you bitch.
I told you the story of the guy that claimed to be allergic to tomatoes, but he'd cover everything with ketchup. So
yeah,
my buddy Kaneda took the tomato from. He's like, "Can I have that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can't even touch it." He's like, "Perfect." And he takes it and just like runs across the face with it.
People used to come in and say that when I worked at a pizza place, and they'd be like, they'd like order a combination pizza, and be like, make sure that doesn't have any tomatoes on it. My husband's allergic. It's like, wait, but you just ordered a tomato sauce pizza. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, do you want us to not put sauce on it? And they're like, oh no. Like, okay, whatever. You just don't like tomatoes.
Yeah.
I want to start telling people I'm allergic to like peas or something.
Yeah, people who like don't like certain vegetables, I'm like, okay, your parents obviously did not force you to eat vegetables.
Nope. Or they never learned how to cook them properly.
I'm
like,
horribly
just
allergic
always
to the
been
napkins at this restaurant. We can't go. Every time I put it in my lap, I break out. It gets through my pants.
Yeah, dude. If I told my mom like, oh, I don't want to eat this, she'd be like, okay, go to bed hungry.
Yeah, I always
This is what we made.
I always like didn't even have the okay then don't eat it option. I was forced with like, you're gonna sit at this table until you eat it, no option, or I'll start shoving it down your throat almost. And I'm like, no, I'll just eat it. Fine, fuck you.
See, my parents at least compromised certain things of, like, they didn't ever try and feed me, it was corn and peas. Because even as, like, a baby, I wouldn't eat that stuff. They couldn't get me to eat it, so they're just like, babies will eat fucking anything, and if he's not going to eat it as a baby, he's never going to eat it in life.
Right.
So it's like, I can live with not giving him that. And I just hate it because of the texture. I hate the popping feeling.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I don't like peas.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't like when
What
things
about
pop
popcorn?
in your mouth. Popcorn doesn't pop in your mouth.
What about like a grape?
What about Pop
No,
Rocks?
I don't like grapes.
Grapes are too. Junaid, you're thinking the wrong kind of pop.
Yeah, like, think like how
a
pops.
corn or a pea or a grape, something that's like full of juice
It
and
just pops
then it just like
fluid into your mouth.
What about Gushers?
Gushers don't really pop though.
No, they more like ooze.
They ooze, but they don't like pop.
But I didn't eat Gushers much. I don't.
Do you
eat
know what
much
that
sugar.
word means, my
I
friend?
like candy. Candy makes me sick.
Yeah, I'm not a big candy fan either. I don't eat dessert when I go to family gatherings. I just eat more dinner.
I mean, I can eat desserts, but like candy, I can't eat because it's just pure sugar. And the more sugar something has, the quicker it makes me sick.
Yeah, I'm not a huge sugar fan.
So
either.
it's like baked stuff and chocolates and things like that that are like, a third or less sugar I can eat. But, candy, hard candy is just pure sugar.
Junaid loves sugar.
It goes right through my system.
I'm not that much of a sugar guy.
Are we all just like old, savory old men? Grumpy.
I mean, like, I could definitely be like, if there's like someone prepared like a good rice pudding with like
Rice pudding's pretty
cardamom and like cinnamon in it and things like that, where it's just like, oh yeah, but like it's all about portions. If you overdo it, then you're like, oh my god, this is way too much.
So you're telling me peeps are off the table?
Peeps are gross.
They are pretty. It's just like
It's sugar-covered sugar.
yeah,
Is all it is.
sugar covered sugar.
It's two textures of sugar, and they're like, ah.
It's like hard sugar on a marshmallow.
Jeez. Oh boy.
It's almost like you're biting into styrofoam.
Right.
That's the thing for me. Texture is a big part of food for me. If food has a shitty texture but good flavor and like smell, it breaks my heart.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, it's like this smells amazing, but like sticking in my mouth and chewing it is a horrible
Is
experience.
there any other weird textures you don't like?
Do
you like watermelon?
I don't mind the texture of watermelon. Kinda. Watermelon's a little soft for me.
Okay.
I like cantaloupe.
That's weird.
It's got more of a crunch to it, more of like crisp. Watermelon, I feel at times you can just gum it.
Have you ever like wondered what type of things make people like a serial killer right off the bat? I think it's if they like cantaloupe more than watermelon.
I thought it was if they killed the family pet.
Oh yeah, that too. That's the other one. My bad. I had him in the wrong order.
Usually they have like mother issues too. That always seems to be a trope.
Yeah. My mom's pretty cool, so I guess I won't be killing anyone. Never killed any pets.
Yeah.
So I'm set.
It's always wild to think that Ted Bundy worked at the University of Utah.
Dude, and he was at fucking the prison just right down here too.
Uh-huh. You could go see him if you wanted to.
Do you want to? I wonder if there's anyone cool now. Oh my god, let's look it up. Do you guys want to go visit a prisoner?
You wonder how many times people with like a podcast go and try and like visit Ted Bundy. Dude, it's like, yeah, we want to film an episode with Ted Bundy, and they're just like, go home. And they finally get through to him, and he's just like, go home.
He won't talk to him.
Yeah.
Junaid, who would you want to see in prison?
Who would I want to see in prison? Like right now, who's in prison?
Yeah, I guess. There's a Sugar House prison? What?
Where is that from? Where is that from here?
Keep going, Junaid. Who's your thought?
Dude, I would like to see some sort of like activist or someone that's like so diluted in their thoughts and their actions that they would commit like horrible atrocities, like like a terrorist in prison.
You're talking
like a terrorist in prison.
You want to meet like a Gandhi-ish type person or a Hitler-ish type person, one of the two.
Yeah, like I want to see like what makes them think that way. Like what has the world done to them to like make such a huge step and like literally like forego societal norms of like having a family, working on your career, retiring, all that sort of stuff. Like what makes them sacrifice their own life and well-being to do something that horrible or wonderful, you know? Like what makes them a martyr or a murderer?
Yeah, murderer.
So I want to put on like...
We could go see Warren Jeffs. Guy's down.
God.
He's in Salt Lake.
No, I want to put on like board shorts and a Hawaiian t-shirt, like a big sun hat and sunglasses. I want to go to Guantanamo Bay with like a little disposable camera and just act like
I can't do that.
Like I'm a dumb
I won't.
tourist.
No, an old camera with like the real thing, and you're like reloading.
No, not even that. Like the cheap disposable ones that you buy.
Oh,
for,
I was
like,
thinking
vacations.
one like around your neck.
Yeah, no, not the one I have. Like a cheap disposable one. Just
Right.
act like I'm on vacation, and then
Maybe some like mid calves and some sandals.
yeah, and like complain to the staff. It's like, how's this a water park? Where's the water boards at?
I heard they're a lot like diving boards. We could go see the girl who.
It's like we do have water boards, but
Yeah, if you have no clue
they're
what
not used
Guantanamo
for
Bay is,
fun.
waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds super fun and like a great summer activity if you have no clue what any of that is.
Yeah, it could kind of sound like surfing or something,
Yeah.
like one of those indoor. You could
Bro, we're
convince
going to
someone-
Guantanamo Bay, man.
Yeah, dude, Guantanamo, dude. We're gonna ride the water boards, bro. It's so dope. They just got these waves coming at you. You hit it.
Is that my man Osama?
Oh boy.
I call him Sam for short.
Yeah, my man Osami hooked me up with a board at Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah,
boy-
he always wears a hood for some reason. I can't see him. He stumbles around like he can't see anything.
My boy Bin Laden.
He's a nudist too.
Oh boy, that's awesome.
That'd be great if, like, the guards at Guantanamo Bay made, like, the prison uniform just tourist get-ups. Everyone has to wear, like, shitty Hawaiian shirts and board shorts. Just a bunch of, like, extremist terrorists sitting around dressed like American tourists.
Dude,
It'd probably
sunglasses,
be, like, more of a psychological punishment to them than anything.
sunglasses, and the little like string that goes behind your head to keep them from falling off.
You can wear a turban, but it has to have this Hawaiian pattern on it.
Oh my god. Oh lord. Did you guys hear that at Guantanamo they actually did use like they used music torture for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the songs was Real Slim Shady by Eminem, which is like my favorite.
Dude, I love that song.
Dude,
Yeah,
do you know
they
what
used
do
it. They
in,
used that to like get some of the information on some of the 9/11 attacks. This is how they just looped Slim Shady and then some Christmas song, and they looped like just. I think it's they looped just the "I'm Slim Shady, all you other Slim Shady," just that little part. They just put that on loop.
I know cargo ships that go through the Atlantic, they always blare Britney Spears at the Somalian pirates, and it deters them.
Why?
They hate American culture.
Okay, so you just play some
You
B
play
Spears.
You play like the poppiest sounding pop music, and they're just like not worth it.
You're staying away,
Yeah, I am not gonna die with the last thing I hear being Britney Spears.
right? Did you guys see? Just made me think about like Somali pirates. The thing that the U.S. Navy's testing, it's like kind of like a jetpack almost type thing,
Oh, I've seen
but
those.
you hold it with your hands.
Yeah.
So it doesn't attach on your back. It's like 2 turbo boosters on your fists.
It's kind of like the Iron Man thing.
Kind of like the
Yeah.
Iron Man thing, but they're using that, and they've successfully like went from one ship to another on it. But all I could think is like there were so many people just standing there casually filming this guy. If I was a Somali pirate and this dude comes like slowly floating up, trying to lands with all this big shit on his hand that he's got to like turn off, you'd so quickly just be like, pop. Like, did anybody else not think of that real
Well,
quick?
they're super
Like,
slow moving too.
they're so slow, dude.
Yeah.
You have to like to hover to land, like hover and land all super
And they're
slow.
100% defenseless because they can't use their hands.
They can't use their hands until they get down and out of this contraption. So even if you do land on there, be like, hold on, guys, one sec. Everybody, like, please don't shoot. Huzzah! And then, like, finally get your gun out. And then what, are you going to go take down the whole ship? Just you with your, like... Whoa, racing again, huh, Junaid?
Yeah. Sorry, but like I was just gonna add, like the type of guns these Somali pirates are using are like cheap knockoff copies of AK-47s that are made with like a guy
Yeah.
that uses his foot as like an anvil.
And I'm sure
They're
that's
the
to, like,
Chinese
hold
import.
the anvil.
I'm sure that's
No,
still
no.
going to
This
kill
isn't an
someone who's gonna
import.
just float.
This isn't an import. They basically have an AK-47. They're like, okay, how do we make this with raw materials? Just get all the metal they can, and then they just kind of make it the same.
Yeah, no, it is the Chinese crap import of the AK-47.
Which still shoots bullets at fucking
Yeah.
shitty floating
It just doesn't
Navy
exist forever like the Russian AK.
Dude, my buddy, when I was younger, his brother had an AK, and he used to like just sneak into his room and pull it out all the time. Be like, look at this. We're like 8. I was like, always so scared. Like, I don't think we should be fucking playing with that thing, dude.
You know the story of the guy that invented the AK? What happened about that?
No.
He was basically, his plan was to be like the Russian John Deere. So he was making like farming supplies, like tractors and shit. And like automated farming tools. And they just came in, it's like, Amanda, your talent? Farming? I don't think so. It's like, you're going to build a gun or we're going to kill you. And he basically made the AK-47 and
Automatic Kalashnikov.
automatic Kalashnikov. Kalashnikov was the guy's name.
47, yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
Mikhail Kalashnikov.
Yeah, the dude was basically wanting to just make like tractors and shit, and the Russian government's like, no, you're gonna make firearms.
Yeah, dude, that's actually kind of wild.
And so he made one firearm, and it was the best firearm Russia has ever had. And all they've done since then is just like, how can we change this to be like other firearms? So they made the sniper variant, they made the submachine gun variant, they made the shotgun variant.
That's cool.
I mean, it's just like if you look at any Russian gun now, they all look like a form of an AK-47.
I mean, that's pretty dope. Killing hella people with that shit.
Dude, it's a flag of a country in Africa. It's on the flag.
Yeah.
What country has that AK on their flag?
It's some tiny
I'm
country.
like the fucking host and the fucking AK on a flag of Mozambique, dog.
Yeah.
1983, it added AK-47 with a bayonet attachment. It's kind of like yellow, black, and green and red. Kind of looks like it's like almost Rasta style.
Mozambique, 2 in the head.
Yeah, dude. AK-47, the liberator and the weapon of choice, the destroyer.
God, dude.
Yeah. So, do you know? So there was a bunch of AKs flooded in the Middle East, and do you know what they used them? Because obviously it's not Russian winters over there. It would get like over 120 degrees in the desert. So they would just have like a bucket of water with them. After every magazine, they just like dump the barrel in a bucket of water. Be like, oh, okay, it's cooled down now. Yeah. Otherwise, it would just melt the barrel off.
Well, it wouldn't melt the barrel. It would actually make the gun catch fire. Especially the Russian models, because Russia used wood on all their guns because it was more conductive of heat. So if the reason a lot of German guns jammed up is because they used plastics and metal. And so they would the snow mixed with the cold would basically freeze their gun shut. But with the Russian gun, since it was all wood, it would conduct their body heat through the gun so they wouldn't freeze shut. And then in response, the firing mechanism heat would be conducted through the wood back. It would keep the soldier warm, and it would just store the heat in the stock to keep the gun from jamming and freezing up.
Damn, what an ingenious design, either by accident or on purpose.
The other reason that the Nazis lost in the Western or the Eastern Theater is because they were too prideful to pick up Russian guns.
Really?
Yeah.
So they weren't just jacking the enemy's weapons like they should have?
They refused to touch enemy guns because they were too prideful to touch anything outside of German manufacturing.
What idiots.
Because they were told German is the best.
So they honestly could have did some pretty solid damage in the Eastern Front if they just picked up the AKs from the people they killed early on.
Wild.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch gears pretty hard here from, Russian killing machines. What number do you guys think is higher? The total amount of U.S. debt or the total amount of estimated fish in the ocean?
I'm going to go with U.S. debt.
U.S. debt.
God damn, by a lot, dude.
Wasn't it 28 trillion just last November?
Currently 28. Well, that's the most recent reported one.
Yeah.
One of my ideas on here was just how many fish are there. So I just Google searched it. There's 3.5 trillion fish in the sea. Almost, 10 times less than the amount of U.S. debt we have. That's crazy.
The concept of money exists bigger than fish.
Yeah, and not just like that money exists, but the amount of money that we owe China, pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't censor us, please. That's all. That was my dumb fact that I just wanted to tell you guys.
Just learn to say in Mandarin, attention Chinese listeners, we are satire.
Please don't hate us. Sinead, how much would it cost to get nut kicked by your enemy?
How much would it cost?
Yeah.
Do I have an enemy?
I don't know. Just like somebody.
I don't know if I have an enemy, but I might
Somebody
be
who
the enemy
wouldn't-
of a lot of people.
Somebody who wouldn't hold back is what I mean by that. Somebody who's going to like take this opportunity to come, you know.
Someone that wants to hurt you.
Give you a good old crack.
Okay, since I already have a kid, I already feel like my nuts are getting in the way.
So you're going to let him get kicked and hope that then just like get rid of him?
Not just get rid of them. I'll be like, oh, I guess like I've done my biological function.
So that didn't answer the question though.
How much would it
How much?
cost? Okay,
Yeah.
I would do it a reasonably modest estimate of $10,000.
10,000?
Okay, well I gotta factor in like medical fees and things like that, so probably like $30,000.
30K?
Yeah, because I'm assuming both of my nuts will explode.
I don't know, dude. Steve-O got kicked in the nuts lots of times, and his balls aren't exploded. It's been kicked pretty hard.
Yeah, dude, but I gotta factor in like testicular torsion and that sort of stuff. It's a big procedure.
Connor, you have a little snippet about testicular torsion.
Oh, yeah. I had a buddy growing up. He woke up in the middle of the night, like agonizing pain. And he took him to the hospital. He had testicular torsion. And his mom said it was because he was always on his phone.
What?
Yeah,
No,
she blamed it on the phone.
It can happen. Like your
You're
tubes
missing
can
the-
get tied up in there.
Sinead, you're missing once again the whole joke in here, though.
Dude's mom.
The phone?
Yeah, the
she
mom's
claimed
trying
it's
to- like, she's
this wouldn't be
obviously
happening if
lying.
you weren't always
She's-
on your phone.
We have hurricanes because God hates gays. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
She was the same one when he bought another monitor for his computer. She's like, it's sapping all the AC.
What the fuck?
Yeah, shit like that.
What the fuck?
All the Wi-Fi is gone because you got that new mouse.
All these cell phones making
like-
these frogs.
It's like,
gay
Mom,
out
this
here.
this mouse runs on 2.5 watts of power.
I feel so bad for him too because he is an IT, like that is his job as he works IT, and he has to explain to his mom why like the Wi-Fi isn't being sapped by his mouse,
Oh my gosh, mouse does not run on Wi-Fi,
Right.
Mom.
why the air conditioning in Netflix isn't broken because he put a second monitor on his computer,
Jesus.
shit like that.
You're gonna blow the fuse. What about Larry Bird?
Larry Bird.
Sorry. You'll probably hear that a lot.
Larry Bird.
kinda
got
looks like a
testicular
bird.
torsion.
It kind of does, actually. He's got a little bit of a bird face.
Like a beak, just from his
Eyes
nose?
close together.
I wonder if that's his real name. Let's look it up.
Larry Bird.
Dude, I looked
Like,
up
like
some
the
ice.
woodpecker type hair.
Oh, it is Larry. Yeah, he does have. Oh God, he does for sure. I looked up some like I saw this video of like NFL players that have different names than what their like jersey names are.
Yeah.
One of my by far favorite NFL player, Julio Jones. You know, arguably the best receiver in the league. Maybe falling off a little bit because he's getting a little old. His real name is Quintorius Lopez Jones.
Quintorius.
Quintorius Lopez Jones. There's a guy whose name's like T.Y. Hilton. And his real
What
name
is the origin of that first name?
I don't know.
It's Quentin but black.
Quintard.
Which I feel Quentin is already a black name, so I don't know how you
Double
make it.
down on it.
Yeah.
How about this one? T.Y. Hilton. His name is and it's T.Y. like it's abbreviated for a first and middle name, but his name is Eugene Marquise Hilton.
The fuck does the T?
I have nothing to do with it, dude.
What was it? Eugene what?
Eugene Marquise. There's no T or Y.
He could have gone by E.M. Hilton.
Well, I wonder too if when Julio Jones gets a check from the Falcons every week, does it say like Julio Jones on it, or does it like have to have their legal name for like the bank?
Yeah, I wonder.
Also, they probably got direct deposit. They ain't getting checks. What am I thinking?
Yeah,
His bank definitely has his real name.
I guess unless he like legally changed it or something, you know.
I think it's more just like a stage name type thing, you know. Well, if any of you guys out there have a friend who's got a really weird name, tell it to us, and we will make fun of them on the internet.
Yeah, give us their name, their address, their social security number, their
Credit
parents'
cards.
name, their parents' address, what times they'll be home, what times they'll be out,
The
what are
more-
the exits in their house,
The more information we have, the more we can bully them through the internet.
how strong is their dad? Do you think he could take me? Do you think he could take me and Tilly?
Do you think he could fight my dad? Because my dad's stronger than your
How
dad.
many guns are in the house? Can they defend themselves? How far is it from the police station?
Oh, boy. With that, my friends, it's the end of the day. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Later, guys.